Hey, my name's Josiah, and today I'll show you how to draw a portrait of someone. I've been drawing for about 8 years, and today I could show you step by step of how to draw whoever you want in a simple portrait, which will usually take about 10 to 15 minutes. You're going to need a pencil, and if you're into specifics, you'll want to have a lighter pencil, such as a 2B, to do more round shapes and just general shapes, and then a more defined pencil such as a 5B to do like eyelashes and more defined features on the face. You're also going to need a kneaded eraser, which you'll use to morph into erase certain specifics. So for example, right here, I made it tipped at the end so I could erase, something on the paper more easily. You'll need a regular eraser for more general erasing. A pencil or pencil sharpener for obviously sharpening the pencils, and then blender sticks for shading and mixing different parts of the portrait. Another thing you're going to preferably want to have is a reference of the person that you're drawing, such as a picture. So for me, I have my laptop on the side over here. And last but not least, and most importantly, you're going to want your paper. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It doesn't have to be fancy. You're just going to need a paper big enough to have your portrait. The first thing you're going to start off with is the eye, which is usually an almond shape. The upper part of the eye usually has its own distinct, unique line, depending on the person you're drawing. But usually the bottom part of the eye is usually round, like the side of an almond. So what you're going to do is have your reference and start off with the eye and just draw what you see. So if you see a certain curve or a certain line, just draw it and try your best to portray it onto the paper. Then, after you do that, you're going to want to draw the eye, and depending on the facial expression of the person, it could vary on where exactly the iris is on the person and their eye. But for example, mine is looking off to the side, so what I draw may be very different than yours, but generally what you're going to draw is a round circle in the center of those two connecting lines to make the eye. Then you're going to want to draw the eyelash or eyelashes, and depending on whether they're male or female or have eyelash extensions may vary, but generally they're pretty easy. You draw them like spider legs, sort of going up like that. So it may look like that, which you can see that I've already started on the nose. So for the nose, you're going to want to draw a line going down, a curved line going down, and then for the bottom of the nose, you're going to want to draw a roundish circle. Connecting to the nostril. Oh, that's the wrong pencil. Usually we're going to want to draw the nose pretty light unless it's a pretty defined nose. So always keep that in mind. Then you're going to want to draw the other eye, which is usually pretty difficult. But always remember that both sides of someone's face isn't equally symmetrical. So when you draw that other eye, always keep that in mind, that it doesn't have to be the exact same shape as the other one, because no one's face is perfectly symmetrical. So we're going to start on that one. Drawing is one of those activities where you gotta trust the process. It may not exactly look good in the moment, but you just gotta trust the process and keep working on it, keep improving. And always remember that everyone has their own different style or techniques to drawing. So yours doesn't have to look the exact same as someone else's, because everyone has different styles and techniques, and no one does everything the same thing or the same way. After you finish the eyes, you'll want to continue on to the eyebrows, which are generally pretty easy, just usually random lines and a jumbled mess, usually a little bit above the eye. So you'll want to start on that. Again, remember to trust the process. It may not look good in the moment, but if you keep working on it, the end result will be worth it. Now, everyone's portrait's going to look different since everyone's drawing different people, but generally you should be somewhere around here, having the eyebrows, the eyes, and the nose, which then you'll move on to the general head shape, which is generally pretty easy. Just always remember to draw what you see. After you draw the head shape, you should have something sort of around here, like so. Now, normally I would teach you how to draw the ear, but since my reference doesn't have the ear included in it, I won't be able to show a demonstration, so we could save that for another time. So now we're going to move on to the lips, which are pretty difficult for the upper lip, but once you get the hang of it, you should be able to complete it. So what you're going to want to start off with is a small line, like half of a circle, and then 2 connecting arches on both sides. They don't have to be equal in length or size, since no one is fully proportional. After you draw the lips, you're going to move on to the hair. After you finish the hair, you're going to move on to the neck, then the shoulders, and then you're going to cut it off right over here, since this is just a portrait and not a full body art. This is also when you should use your blender sticks to define more lines, such as the side of the head. You see the difference, how it's more defined? Right about now is when you want to add the details in the final steps, which these blender sticks will come most in handy when adding those details. And when you finish adding all those details, you should have a finished result like this. Anyway, I hope I could help you in some way create a portrait of your own. And if you ever need to rewatch the video or pause at any point, please feel free to do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.